Hiring staff only marks the beginning of the employee cycle. Next, you need to train, develop, motivate them to perform, and ultimately keep them. So, how do you keep your company's most valued asset? So, here are some helpful information you can get from us. So, stay tuned and listen.
Good day, everyone, especially to you, Ma'am Helen Mazeo. I'm Karen Acosta, the first reporter of Group 3, and we are assigned to discuss about maximizing employee performance. So here are the learning objectives. After studying this topic, the students will be able to first understand what maximizing employee performance means. Second, learn about the duties and responsibilities a firm or organization must do to retain and maximize employee as well as their performance. Third, learn about the ways to maximize the employee performance. Fourth, know the importance of implementing the ways of maximizing employee performance. And last, the impact of maximizing employee performance in the organization.
Maximizing employee performance. It is a key component in effectively managing your human resources and ensuring that employees get the training, coaching, and mentoring they need to develop the knowledge, skills, and confidence to perform well in their current job or prepare them for the advancement in the organization. For any businesses, employee performance is the key to success. Every individual employee must work toward the company's vision and mission. There is no overarching mantra about employee performance. It is all about how businesses manage, upskill, and motivate their employees.
Provide meaningful work. Employees who are motivated by their work take pride in it and derive a level of satisfaction. A job must offer a range of duties and responsibilities. Job enlargement. A technique used in work design called job enlargement involves adding more responsibilities to a particular job. In other words, it entails broadening the range of one's obligations. The breadth has been expanded, but it is quantitative rather than qualitative, and it is at the same level. Job expansion is a type of horizontal reorganization strategy that tries to boost staff flexibility while also lessening potential boredom over time. It is also referred to as horizontal loading because the duties don't rise vertically but rather at the same level. Many people think there is less need for training because the enlargement is horizontal in nature. Contrarily, expanding a career demands the proper training, particularly in time and people management. Since the person is already familiar with the task or has been performing it for some time, little task-related training is necessary. The following are the major benefits of job enlargement. First, reduce monotony. Howsoever interesting the job may appear in the beginning, sooner or later people complain of boredom and monotony. Job enlargement is planned carefully can help reduce boredom and make it more satisfying and fulfilling for the employees. Second, increase work flexibility. There is an addition to the number of tasks as individual performs. There is thus an increased scope of carrying out tasks that are versatile and yet very similar in certain aspects. Third, no skills training required. Since the individual has already been performing the task in the past, there is no great requirements for imparting of new skills. However, people in time management interventions may be required. The job thus gets more motivational for the one performing it. Job enrichment. When compared to job expansion, it has been observed that work enrichment has a larger motivational influence. Enrichment is viewed as a sign of progress and development because it offers employees better job profiles and deeper insight into managerial functioning. The opposite is true in the case of job expansion, which is perceived as a tactic by the employer to raise the burden. Job enrichment is a technique that involves giving existing employment new components to make them more engaging. Examples of job enrichment include the addition of new tasks, also known as job enlargement, the diversification of skills, the addition of meaning to jobs, the development of autonomy, and the provision of feedback. The creation of an inspiring job is the aim of work enrichment. This can be achieved, for instance, by taking a routine, boring job and adding extra tasks that give the employee a greater sense of purpose in their work. Therefore, work design and job redesign include job enrichment. So the difference between job enrichment and job enlargement is essentially of quantity and quality. Whereas job enlargement means increasing the scope of job quantitative by adding more up tasks, job enrichment means improvement in the quality of job such as employees are more satisfied and fulfilled. Through job enrichment, an employee finds satisfaction and contentment in his job, and through job enlargement, employee feels more responsible and worthwhile in the organization. Job enrichment entails the functions of planning and organizing, and enlargement involves execution of the same. Both complement each other in that job enrichment empowers and enlargement executes. Job enrichment depends upon job enlargement for success, and the reverse is not true. Job enrichment means a vertical expansion in duties and responsibilities in span of control, whereas a job enlargement, the expansion is horizontal in nature. Ways to maximize employee performance. Provide meaningful work. When it comes to employees' engagement, you might think that your main task is to hire the right person for the right position, but this is not always the case. In fact, if you provide meaningful work for your employees, you can help to encourage the productivity in both workplace morale. In turn, this will increase employee engagement and benefit your bottom line. No matter what the field, you can take steps to ensure that your employees feel connected and fulfilled. Dr. Steger explained that it is up to you as a manager to create a meaningful space, even or especially in tough times, in order to increase employee engagement and retain your best performers. Connect each employee to the company mission and values. Each of your employees, no matter what their position, should have a clearly defined role that states how their position contributes to the company's success. They should be able to answer why. His role is essential for the success of the company. Assess this role regularly. This role and how it contributes to the company's values should be regularly assessed. Every performance review should include a section concerned with a specific topic. Give your employees space and guidance to grow. A big part of employee engagement is the ability to grow and progress in one's career. You need to ensure that your employees can all see a clear path of progression and advancement. Give them the tools and training that they need to achieve these goals. Coach them and mentor. Allow scheduling flexibility. The easiest way to define workplace flexibility is to think of it as an agreement between employer and employee. The agreement usually consists of three components employees can: first, choose where they work from; second, create a work schedule that works best for them; and last, schedule their work day however they want. As an employer, you may think that this sounds like a freelancer schedule, and freelancing is indeed one category of flexible work. However, flexible work can also include part-time work, fully remote teams, work from anywhere arrangements, compressed work weeks working 40 hours over 4 days instead of 5, alternative schedule, jobs working second or third shift, temporary work, seasonal jobs, gig work. As an employer, you can offer your staff one or more of these flexible work options, but keeping track of the different employment statuses and work schedules of your entire staff may seem like too much work for very little return. However, the benefits of flexible work for companies goes beyond happier employees. Employers that allow their staff the freedom to work a flexible schedule can also find themselves a greener, more profitable, and more desirable company that people want to work for. Third, involve employees in decision making. Involving your team in the decision making process can benefit your entire organization. The quality of the decision made will improve because you'll have the right mix of skills and expertise at the table. But you'll also have the people in place who are prepared and in sync on what to implement. Fourth, provide for employee recognition. Employee recognition is the acknowledgement of a company staff for exemplary performance. Essentially, the goal of employee recognition in the workplace is to reinforce particular behaviors, practices, or activities that result in better performance and positive business results. One of the biggest motivators for employees is to be held in a high esteem by their peers. The best way of earning this respect is by being acknowledged for being good at what they do. And last, evaluate performance. A performance review is a formal assessment in which a manager evaluates an employee's work performance, identifies strengths and weaknesses, offers feedback, and set goals for future performance. Performance review are also called performance appraisal or performance evaluation. And that's all with my report. Thank you so much.
Good day, everyone. So we are now in our second topic, which is scheduling flexibility under maximizing employee performance. So let us define first or discuss first what is scheduling flexibility mean. So a flexible work schedule allows employees to a level of autonomy to create their own schedules and find a work-life balance that works for them. So instead of the traditional 9 to 5 work week, a flexible schedules allows employees to vary the times they begin and end their work day. So there's plenty of signs to suggest that flexible work schedules are critical for happier, more productive employees and more successful company overall. Another definition of scheduling flexibility is allowing employees to create or plan, manage their own schedules, send a message of trust. This can lead to an increase in productivity. Forms of flexible scheduling. First, we have telecommuting, family leave, and flex time. Telecommuting involves performing some or all of the job away from the business. The key is having to access the technology, for example, the computers, the fax machines, cellular phones, and overnight delivery services. The second one is a family leave. According to federal law, for large companies, it requires a family leave. Workers must allowed up to 3 months of non-paid family leave for the circumstances covered by law. The last one is flex time. It allows employees to choose their work hours and days they think they will most effective. Of course, there are pros and cons of a flexible schedule, but since flexible schedules are becoming more typical nowadays, we've compiled a list of everything good, bad, and surprising about implementing flexible work hours at your office. So take a look. First, we have the pros of a flexible work schedule. Number one here is you can adapt your schedule to fit the family needs. So if you can make your own hours, You can ensure those hours adapt to your family and social life demands. Second is you can indulge in self-care. So it might sound strange, but having the option to occasionally put your personal needs before work can help you find more joy throughout your day. The third one here is your employees can pursue passions outside of work. So unfortunately, your employees' passion can't always fit outside a 9 to 5 work schedule. Also, as previously mentioned, happier employees are more productive. And lastly, if your employees can find outlets outside of work and pursue their passions, they are less likely to feel unsatisfied in their current role. The fourth one is your employees can work whenever they are most productive. So for me personally, this is a single most important benefit to work schedule. So I work insanely well in the morning. So ultimately, your employees aren't all going to be more productive at the exact same time. Flexibility allows them to become better workers. They will get everything accomplished during the hours they want, and they won't feel burnt out from sitting at their desk during times they are unproductive. The fifth one is your employee can avoid rush hour. So another study found that employee happiness decreases as commute time increase. Ultimately, a long commute can drive employees to search for companies closer to their home or with different hours. An easy way to improve employee satisfaction is allow commuters the options to avoid traffic while leaving even just 30 later. So it can also positively impact your employees' level of energy and productivity. So for the sixth, we have you give employees a sense of autonomy. So people like control over their schedule. It enables them to feel fully in charge of their work and personal life. Make them feel like their company trusts them. The seventh one is you can recruit and retain better talent. So flexible schedules have been shown to increase employee productivity and overall morale. Ultimately, you can use the benefits of a flexible schedule as a selling point for hiring better talent. Now, let's move on to the cons of a flexible work schedule. 1. It's more difficult for you to arrange meetings with your team. So if everyone has a different schedules, figuring out of everyone's availability can get tricky. Number 2. Lines between work and life blur more drastically. During such instances, it's important you separate work from the rest of your life as much as possible, or just creating a physical boundary by closing your office door when you leave. Number 3 is you won't find much structure at home. So if you are working remotely, there's a very little structure. With that freedom to take breaks, you might suddenly find you're getting very little done. Working remotely often requires more focus and discipline than working in an office. The last one is that it can be difficult to create a bonded team. So for example, if you've got a team that works from whenever, it can be hard to pencil in time to develop an organic, authentic relationship between your team members.
And that's all for my report. By the way, my name is Ana Marie Agujero. Stay tuned for more information that will be given with my co-reporters.
Good day, everyone. As a continuation, we will now tackle on the third way to maximize employee performance, which is involve employees in decision making. First, let's define what is decision. So, decision is a course of action purposely chosen from a set of alternatives to achieve organizational or managerial objectives or goals. So, every organization are engaged in doing decision making like strategic, tactical, and operational decisions. So right now, it is also very important to define what is employee involvement. So according to Robert Bullock of business consulting firm, employee involvement is the direct participation of staff to help an organization fulfill its mission and meet its objectives by applying their own ideas, expertise, and efforts towards solving problems and making decisions. So, involving employees in the decision making process shows those across the organization that their opinion is valued and trusted. It helps workers feel less like cogs in the machine and more like experts and consultants in their respective areas of expertise. So, why is employee involvement so important? As we all know, organizational leaders face countless decisions every single day. While employees have deep insights into how organizations work, how they could work better, and who their customers are. That's why it is important to let them engage or involved in decision making. So right now, as we all know that each member of an organization has something to learn and knowledge to share. So something that makes the decision making process much more successful. So right now, we will discuss what are the benefits of involving employees in decision making. So by bringing people into the conversation with different disciplinary and cultural backgrounds, you can enhance creativity and gain a fresh perspective on the task or problem at hand. Second, gives employees a sense of belonging to the organization. And third, promote teamwork and collaboration. Lastly, give the employee the feeling that he is useful or he has a strong purpose. So that's it. Involve employees in decision making gives employees a strong sense of purpose, allows employees to see their own ideas put to work, and gives the employees a chance to set his or her own objectives and gauge his or her own purposes. So right now, we will proceed on the fourth way of maximizing employee performance, and that is provide employee recognition. So there are 7 types of employee recognition. The first one is fair compensation for the work. Second, fair and equal treatment for each employee. Third, daily informal praise. Fourth, credit for a good idea or useful suggestion. Fifth, plaques or awards at meetings or banquets. Sixth, financial incentives. And lastly, special assignments or promotion opportunities. So, since hiring staff only marks the beginning of the employee cycle, next, you need to train, develop, and motivate them to perform and ultimately keep them. So, how do you keep your company's most valued asset, which is your employees? So, for that, let's discuss employee recognition. So, employee recognition refers to all the ways an organization shows its appreciation for employees' contributions. It can take many forms and may or may not involve monetary compensation. So, recognition helps employees to see that their company values them and their contributions to the success of their team and to the company overall. So, it helps employees build a sense of security in their value to the company and motivating them to continue great work. So right now, we will tackle on the first type of recognition, which is the fair compensation for the work. So in this field, it is ensuring that the pay for employees is set at a level that is both fair and livable and provides equal pay for equal work. And right now, the second one is fair and equal treatment for each employee. So this ensures that the employee's rights are being respected and that each employee is given individualized treatment. The third one is the daily informal phase, which is in this field, this is showing appreciation immediately with words when someone meets a goal, objectives, or something that is admirable or goes above or and beyond. So fourth one is the credit for a useful or a good idea. This is praising or acknowledging the idea of the subordinate during or after discussion. Fifth is plaques or awards at meetings. Award plaques are the perfect way to say thank you or to recognize outstanding achievements. This is also a formal and most appreciative way of recognition. The sixth one is financial incentives. It involves monetary bonuses which shows them that they are valued and make them feel that their work or their hard work is paying off and is greatly appreciated by the company. Lastly, promotion opportunities. So in this field, the leader or the manager is promoting an employee solely based on how qualified he is to perform the job, not because of a personal relationship. Right now, we will discuss or I will tackle to you the benefits of recognizing your employees. So the first one is it would retain top talent. Second, it will increase employee engagement or involvement. And third is it encourage high performance. So let us go back to the question, how do you keep your company's most valued asset, which is your employees? So try to look at the chart that I have shared to you. It always depicts that in order for you to keep your most valued asset, which is employees, recognize them. So as you can see, 37% and on the survey says that you should or the company should recognize the employees. So that's the most important drivers of great work. So therefore, to keep them, involve them in the decision making and recognize them. Be more appreciative as it always better to praise your employees because it can boost their self-esteem that will result to a great work and they'll be motivated to go to work. Not only that, your employees will do their best to get recognized knowing that you are an appreciative employer. So happy employees are more productive and being recognized gives your staff the feeling of job mastery and that they are a great fit for their role and for the company.
Hi everyone, my name is KRISTINE AYANGCO and this is the continuation of our report. We have the performance evaluation, but before I tackle each of these bullets under this performance evaluation, let us first determine of what exactly is an employee performance evaluation. So performance evaluation daw, or also known as the performance review or performance appraisal, is a process that organizations use to provide their employees with feedback on their job performance while also formally documenting that performance. In other words, providing reviews or feedback on employees' performance. Now question, why do organizations use this method? Performance evaluations of employees are said to be among the most important in an organization because they help not only on the side of the employer or the company, but also on the part of the employee in building on their employee's strength and identifying areas where the employee needs improvement in order to be more effective and efficient in their work. Now, it is important for every company, again, to have this type of management or method so that employees are more aware of their responsibilities and are also aware of any flaws in the task that they must complete. Our first bullet here is formal evaluations are usually completed once a year. Traditionally, Manggod, most employers conduct annual performance evaluations. They choose and have decided to conduct performance evaluations once a year. Others also conduct performance evaluation twice a year or more, depending on the system of the company. However, it is currently assumed at this present time that most companies conduct or give performance reviews every 3 to 6 months. Why is this the case? That is because this is done to maintain employees focused and motivated on their work, as well as to ensure that feedback is timely and relevant. Second bullet is reviews should be completed in a private meeting with the employer. Of course, performance evaluations must be completed in a private meeting between the employer and the employee. An employer's evaluation of an employee's performance is personal and must be kept private from inappropriate disclosure in outside conversations. Outside of the managed meeting, completed assessment forms and meeting content should not be discussed. And employees should avoid discussing performance evaluations or confidential data with anyone other than themselves and the employer. In other words, everything discussed in the meeting, say between the employees and the employer, should be kept between the two parties. And why is this the case? This is to avoid problems outside the work, whether they are personal or work-related. Third bullet is evaluate strengths and weaknesses and provide feedback for improvement. On the employer's side, evaluating employee strengths and weaknesses and providing feedback to help each of them improve in the workplace is very important. Employee feedback from their employer is useful in determining what kind of strengths and weaknesses each of them has or does not have, and what weaknesses they need to work on, apply, and execute. Again, employee performance reviews are important for every businesses, but their effectiveness is determined by how the employer conducts them. Because providing feedback and reviews can both empower employees to achieve new goals and be motivated and productive at work, but could also drive employees away from the company. And I do believe that a good review helps employees identify skills and potential areas for improvement without risking an organization's employee-employer relationships. Third bullet, we have evaluate strengths and weaknesses and provide feedback for improvement. On the employer's side, evaluating employee strengths and weaknesses and providing feedback to help each of them improve in the workplace is very important. Employee feedback from their employer is useful in determining what kind of strengths and weaknesses each of them has or does not have, and what weaknesses they need to work on, apply, and execute. Again, employee performance reviews are important for every businesses, but their effectiveness is determined by how the employer conducts them, because providing feedback and reviews can both empower employees to achieve new goals and be motivated and productive at work, but could also drive employees away from the company. And I do believe that a good review helps employees identify skills and potential areas for improvement without risking an organization's employee-employer relations. Fourth bullet is informal evaluations may be done frequently. It is said that the informal evaluations encourages employees to receive feedback on their work in stages throughout a project or task. And an informal evaluation does not have to be conducted by a supervisor or someone from upper management, nor does it have to include a face-to-face discussion of the employee's performance. Every employee can seek informal feedback or evaluations from peers or from any other source to better understand how he or she is managing the tasks and how he or she is intended or intends to complete them. Our last bullet is evaluations can be motivational and provide the basis for pay increases and promotions. Employee performance evaluations can motivate employees and provide employers with valuable information about their employees. Employees cannot only be motivated by the system or method. They can also receive bonuses, salary increases, promotions, and other rewards from the employer for their good performance. However, again, as what I have always said, it is dependent on the employee's performance evaluation. Now, for our next slide, we have the reasons to evaluate. Here, the first reason is to improve weak performance. Of course, one of the primary reasons that businesses or organizations conduct performance evaluations is to help their employees improve their performance or weak performance. And identifying areas for improvement is one of the steps that employees and managers can do to make improvements. Performance improvement plans and practices helps you and your team in determining what is and is not working. So employers, managers, and even co-workers and everyone else should assist you or help you and your teams with any issues that come. This way, it will motivate businesses to find good and wise solutions rather than relying on uncertain efforts to improve. Second is to reward good performance. This second reason is also one of the reasons why employees last and remain in the job or company that they're working. Because of this reason, their confidence grows and they are motivated to work. And employee motivation can be greatly improved by rewarding their performance and, of course, providing regular recognition in the workplace. So this could be a form of acknowledgement, appreciation, or compensation. Third reason is to make decisions about pay increases and or promotions. Giving your employees compensation or reward, such as a salary increases and promotion, is a great way to show your appreciation and recognize their accomplishments. So as previously stated, this method motivates them to give their everything at work. Excuse me. Our last reason is to determine the employee's level of job satisfaction. This is also one of the reasons why employers conduct employee performance evaluations. It is to determine whether or not their employee is satisfied with their job, task, or the company's system. This evaluation demonstrates what should be prioritized in order to address the company's low level of employee job satisfaction. So employees, on the other hand, will pay attention to their job satisfaction at work through performance evaluation.
Good day everyone, I am NELMAE from ABRASADO, and today I will discuss about the evaluation forms. Evaluation forms, it is a document used to evaluate an employee's workplace performance. In an evaluation form, good employee evaluation forms are the one key to the success of your performance management process. Well, to ensure that we are on the same page, employee evaluation is the evaluation and evaluation of a worker's performance in the job. The majority of businesses conduct performance evaluation on a regular basis, so usually once or twice a year. Next is performance factor evaluation. When evaluating employees' performance, many businesses make use of a template or form. A rating scale for use during the evaluation should be included on the form, along with a list of the factors that are most significant to your company. You might be able to determine which aspect you want to evaluate by reading the employee's job description. So during the onboarding process, going over the form with a new employee helps you set performance expectations and help the new hire figure how to meet or exceed their expectations. Next is job-specific evaluation. Job-specific evaluation, it is a point system that through formal and systematic analysis equalizes the value of each employee group job in comparison to other jobs. The system tries to make connection between an employee's contribution to the organization, effectiveness, and the amount of the pay they receive. So the first step in the job evaluation is to examine the work, ascertain its characteristics and requirements, the duties and the responsibilities are then evaluated in the light of the chosen evaluation method after the description of them is written. Job evaluation simplifies and rationalizes pay structure decision when carried out effectively. It makes job comparison run more smoothly. So next is management by objective evaluation. As a strategy to boost an organization performance, it is the process by which management identifies and communicates the organization's goals to employees with the intention of achieving each goal. So it is the strategy to each employee performance and progress with the established goals. In an idea, employees more be likely carry out their responsibilities if they were involved in establishing objectives and determining the course of action. So, why use employees evaluation form? It is to understand. It is to understand employees' strength and weakness. 2 is plan employee training and development progress. 3 set performance goals and standards. 4. Understand what roles employees need to achieve their job responsibilities. 5. Inform recognition and reward. 6. Identify highly proficient workers and leadership potential. And lastly, provide useful feedback about job performance. Furthermore, the form must have basic information about both parties involved. So this includes but not limited. So for example is the name, the employee name, the department, the employee ID, position held, reviewer name and reviewer title. So the reviewer period and evaluation date should be noted on employee review forms. This is done to see how far the employee has come since the last time they were evaluated. So, forms for performance evaluation must inform employees of their progress and future objectives. For them to be effective, they will be aware of the requirements for their performance as a result of this. So, certainly, evaluation can easily become subjective. So, the management has to try it lightly. Here are the few tips on how to approach your performance review process without ambiguity. So, first is gathering information intentionally. So, make sure your staff evaluation from gathering the right information and that you are clear about your purposes. Second is stay focused. Try not to do much on a single employee review from a form or a performance review if necessarily. Hold several evaluation sessions. Third is customize forms for each position. In order to ensure that your employee review form accurately reflect performance for a particular position, list the appropriate core or leadership competence of the position. And third is provide clear description. Give through explanation of the job's responsibilities, objectives, and rating system. Fourth is choose the rating method wisely. While numerical competency ratings may be more appropriate for some roles, descriptive ratings or even multi-rater feedback may be required for others. Sixth is set SMART goals. SMERT. Give the worker specific, pertinent description of the objectives they want to achieve. Define the success metrics and anticipated completion dates. Next is address development. An employee performance evaluation form's primary objective is to encourage personal and professional growth, so make room for determining and establishing training objectives. Next is provide detailed feedback. Ensure that employees are aware of their development and improvement responsibilities. Next is be objective. When possible, use specific numbers and avoid using language that is subjective or ambiguous. So, do employee performance evaluation firms make sense for small businesses? For me, yes. Small businesses must regularly evaluate employee performance as well. The process will be much simpler and more predictable for you if you use set of predefined forms. You won't have to come up with a new criteria for each evaluation. So, despite the fact that employee evaluations may have a bad reputation, they are still essential for businesses of all sizes. The most common method for evaluating performance across all positions in your businesses is still using employee evaluation forms, whether digital or on paper. So focus on providing a rating that is both honest and objective on your employee evaluation form to ensure its effectiveness. To collect qualitative and quantitative data, use open-ended questions in addition to numerical skills. Most importantly, engage employees in the evaluation and be the mentor who wants to help them improve to make it two-way street.
How to measure employee performance. Measuring how well your employees do their jobs can help organizations find any flaws in your training programs and show you how to fix them. So, employee performance can be calculated in three sources. We have here the first one, the employee themselves. Most of the time, people are their own critics. This is why it can be useful to ask an employee about their work. When an employee finishes a task, they may be asked to fill out a form that they ask how well and how quickly they did the task. This will help them figure out where they are falling behind and help them in the long run. The second one is their reporting manager. Managers can evaluate the work of their employees using number of scales like 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. In addition to measuring the quality and the speed of work, you should also look at how well an employee understands the tasks, works with other teams and members, and shows that they are committed to their job. The last one, the third one, is people they work with, the environment that they work with. It is important for an employee to get feedback from the group that they work with to know if their efforts to work together are working. This can include their work colleagues, their supervisors, or even people from other teams with whom they sometimes work. That would be all for my part. Thank you so much.